Welcome to the V8 Vets tonight, round number 9. Thanks to Quantity Solutions, we are live at Suzuka International Race Circuit. And we're heading down for a 200-kilometre race tonight. So get yourselves bolted in, get ready for action. Get involved in the chat and let's go racing here live on RACESTARS TV for the V8 Vets. Let's take you down now to the action at this beautiful track here in Japan. Qualifying run and done. Let's have a quick look at the qualifying results as we do this quick 5-minute warm-up session. And Greg Favell back on the top step in qualifying with a 2-minute flat point, 3.26 lap tonight. Scotty Gamble has put himself second on the grid. He'll start from the front row alongside Favell. Second row, then you've got Dixon and Fred Nitschke and McKnight. Rejoining the top 6 tonight is Jamie with Chad Lewis, Dan Hall, Christian Smart and Michael Dumbrell rounding out your top 10. For tonight's get-go, we'll take you straight down shortly and we'll go through the full grid. Let's pick up a few of these cars as they get into their warm-up session here at Suzuka. It's a treacherous track, especially in a V8 Supercar. Plenty of different undulating aspects of the track. Also the tight, twisty turns and the very fast 30R left-hander that will test them out tonight. How will the cars feel with these fixed setups for this 200-kilometre race? And I did get a little bit of feedback from Rick Viger, who's back. Welcome back, Rick. He said it's 50 litres tonight, 11 laps. Will be the opening capacity and the opening distance be achieved from that first tank of fuel. With a fuel capacity of 65% means they can do 16 laps thereafter. So the critical laps tonight, lap 3 and lap 19 to watch out for. So there we go. It's going to be good tonight. Jason Kuhn's out there on the racetrack. Got a few names up on the screen in this 5-minute warm-up session. Craig Friend as well. And the Rams Home Alone Old Mate and Sons entry looking good. They look good in the sunshine here. The weather into tonight's round, it is 18 degrees ambient, 20 degrees track temp, clear sky. It's 6:38 locked in the morning here at Suzuka. So good, perfect conditions for racing. And good to see Jamie McKnight back up on the top of the grid. As, he's been qualifying around P10, I reckon, on average. He would probably tell me if I'm wrong there, but I'd say I'm probably pretty right, around 10th on average, and having to work pretty hard in the race. There's the Andrew Hoffman, Becky Performance Racing, also getting himself prepared. Scotty Gamble's been in good form, hasn't he, for Logitech G Evolution Racing Team car. And he'll be set for another good performance tonight. Will he try and get the opening jump on Favell and lead it into turn 1, or will he be happy just to follow for a little bit? He'll save for the first stint before getting underway and obviously getting into that final stint where they let loose and see who can win the race. So let's head down, get set to go to the grid for tonight. V8 Veterans round number 9. YouTube link is in the chat channel now. If you're on Facebook watching along, go check out that YouTube link for TaipanEvents. Round 9 of the V8 veterans. Let's take you down to the grid now. This is how they will line up. This is how they will start the race, and it'll be a pretty epic front row. That run down to turn 1. You'll need to, you need to have nerves of steel, I think, with 40 or so of the best drivers in the over 40 category in Australian e-racing right behind you. And there is your starting order, the top 12. Greg Favell starts from P1. Scott Gamble alongside him. Jason Dixon off the second row with Craig Friend. Then it's Nitschke and McKnight. And all fast third row there as well. Chad Lewis out of 7th with Dan Hall out of 8th. Christian Smart starts from 9th tonight with Michael Dumbrell, your top 10. Johnny King tonight outside the top 10 in 11th with Greg Sharp alongside him. 13th on the grid, Damien Cairns, Stephen Kennedy from 14th with Matt Vanderkran and Stephen Banks sharing the 8th row of the grid. 9th row of the grid, Dave Kirby with Scott McCune out of 18th, Tim Nicol and Vanderkran. That's Peter Vanderkran rounds out your top 20. Warren Davis starts tonight from 21st position. Marty Hansen alongside him, Todd Duggan and Todd Parks running out the top 24 there. A couple of Todds back there on the 12th row of the grid. 25th on the grid tonight, Dean Flavelle with Jason Fuel, and then it's Tixia, Coleman, O'Brien, and the Hoff and Friend right at the back of this grid as they line up for the race. Let's take you down there. Let's get the cars turned up nice and loud. We'll get rid of the music. And we're about a minute into what will be maybe a long staging here. 3 minutes is generally given to the drivers here for staging. There's Scott Gamble, P2 on the grid. He's logged in, ready to go. Others just standing by. There's a shot down of basically the staggered grid with Jason Dixon loaded in as well. Further back you can see there's the Wave Runner Performance Synergy Sim Racing driver, Christian Smart. Dumbrell sitting back there for Hypersonic Racing in 10th place. Greg Sharp further back for the Penrite Toka Sim Sports car. Damien Cairns, who's been driving super well, 13th off the grid tonight. Kennedy loads in alongside him. Further back you've got Kirby in the Fishy Motorsports car. Warren Davis for Banter Alliance Racing starting back there in 21st place with the Taipan eSports. Marty Hansen alongside him. Parks and Favell further back. Love Dino's car, looking good there in the sunshine here at Suzuka. And you've got Brenton O'Brien starting from 29th tonight in the Evolution Racing Team car as others still wait to load. Our pole sitter has now joined the party, and the Taipan eSports driver Greg Favell is standing by ready to get underway. So it's a good looking field, good looking race circuit as well. There's the grandstand from the back end, and there's your pole. So big grid of cars, 35 laps around Suzuka. Should be about an hour and 10 minutes to race. 2 pit stops required with the critical laps tonight, lap 3 and lap 19. Obviously lap 3 the earliest you can stop to make it a 2-stop strategy. Lap 19 the earliest you can fill it with fuel and bring it home on that final tank. So watch out for that pit strategy. See if anyone goes a little bit rogue. Will we get a safety car tonight? We've had a good run without safety cars of late, so will we get a clean run through tonight without having to call on our friends over in race control in the safety car? So we hold, we get ready for a start for this round number 9 from Suzuka. Watch the front row. Let's see if they get away cleanly, especially watch that staggered shot. Oh, slow off the line, really slow was Dixon. He went backwards as they run now down towards turn 1. Dixon trying to recover, scrambling in the background. Favell leads through. Friend got a great start. Gamble as well, dropped back to position. Nitschke up 1 or 2. In fact, McKnight's up a position as well as they head up the hill for the first time. There is Scotty Gamble, but Favell in control out in front. And oh, I can hear a spin. We got a big spin in the background. There's a few cars around there into the fence. Jamie McKnight's involved in that as well. Can you believe such bad luck? What a way to start this race. And McKnight, big damage on the side of the car as well. He will be calling race control to have a look at that, and we'll go back and have a look as well. Greg Favell leading out in front, and I've got to say I'm a little bit nervous. I've seen a few stutters from Greg Favell. Had that internet drama last week where we lost him altogether. Will he be struck down by that again tonight? Craig Friend got the perfect getaway, sits in P2, and currently leads Gamble and Nitschke in 4th place, followed by Christian Smart, Dixon, Lewis, and Dumbrell, who made up 2 spots as well in that opening exchange. So we'll endeavour to get through this first lap before we start diving back and looking at some of those incidents. But some big names got together on the start there. McKnight's one of them. Dan Hall and John King also lost a stack of positions. Tim Nicol There's another that's ended up right at the back. It's wide. Friend goes super wide through there, and Gamble sneaks through on the inside, says thank you very much, sir. I will have that second position, and see you later. And Nishiki takes advantage of that too, and heads off in front of him. So there you go, look at that shot of the grandstand. Nice work, Luke. Here's a shot of Favell going through, then we pick up Gamble going through behind him, and that Logitech car looking supreme. Massive speed they're carrying through there. Tumbrell into the braking zone for the chicane as well. Such a famous chicane it is. Many incidents have happened there over the years. And Dixon, Lewis, Tumbrell, Sharp and Cairns round out your top 10. We will go and have a look at some cameras shortly, but Favell already stretching out to a lead, and he disappears again. See what I mean, folks? I'm not going to focus on him because it throws our telemetry out when I do, but it's a little bit worrying that we're having that loss of connection for him already in this race. Let's hope he doesn't get struck down like he did last week. Gamble once again looking good though behind him. Nishiki, Friend. Here comes Christian Smart with Jason Dixon, like I said, trying to recover after going backwards at the start of this race. And unfortunately, I think he bogged down by the looks of things. I thought for a second maybe he'd lit the tyres up, but he definitely did not get away. Almost stalled the car and then just dropped back 3 positions to 6th. I'm going to go and have a look at that lap 1 incident. Now, Dan Hall was one of the cars involved in that. Let's have a quick look now. See if we can work out what went wrong. So it was heading up the hill for the first time. I'm going to slow it down and we'll try and just get an overhead shot possibly of what happened here. So you just watch this. We've got the Evolution Racing Team car on the inside. McKnight turns in and the contacts made some synchronise spinning from those two, and I think it might have been Brenton O'Brien that came through and also collected the side of the Wave Runner car. And so that's a quick look at that opening crash as we head back to live, just to give you a bit of insight as to what went wrong there at the start. Already 1.5 second lead there for Favell. Gamble in behind. Further back, Dixon having a look now and having a big look. He has a shot here at Christian Smart. Doesn't get through just yet. Hot into the braking zone they go. Back brakes glowing there on these cars. Still haven't fixed the front brake issue here in the V8 Supercars with iRacing and the obviously the digital graphics from iRacing. Still needs some prettying up in the front department. You can see the Logitech Evolution. It's actually Chad Lewis that made that contact with the spinning Jamie McKnight, and that's why there's some damage on the left-hand side of that car as well. Further back in the field, Marty Hansen is fighting with Brenton O'Brien. O'Brien just locking a brake, pinching a brake onto the entryway into turn 1. It's a long loaded right-hand corner, that one, before they then fire up the hill into the S's. And the Taipan eSports Blacktown Mazda car looking very good at the moment, all over the back of Brenton O'Brien. We look back from Brenton's car now. G'day Keith, g'day Christine as well, thanks for the stars and welcome aboard on Facebook tonight. Apparently Facebook not as good as YouTube, so if you want to head to YouTube, go over there and check it out. G'day Ben as well, Ben Anthony in the house, nice to see you mate, Eddie Metz and others that are tuning in, the regulars. Jeff Thomas is here. Well, where is Jeff Thomas? He's not out on the racetrack tonight, he's in the chat. Change of position there. Oh, we got one around. It's Damien Cairns, unfortunately, looping the car around. Now he'll have to wait here and go all the way to the back, unfortunately. Now he gets it going again, so that's unfortunate for Damien. All that good work at the start now has come undone. As the other car spinning now, I'm trying to see who that was. It was, I'm sure in fact it was another car back in the gravel trap. Greg Sharp at the moment behind Dumbrell. We're going to head across and start looking at a couple of our race cameras shortly. Now we're just settling into it's a 200-kilometre race. The pace is pretty fierce tonight. You can see we're not mucking around. Marty Hansen here with Jason Fewens behind him and Dean Favell further back. Let's jump on board with Dino as he tries to get onto the back of this little trio of cars. Brenton O'Brien, Marty Hansen and Jason Fewens riding on board now with Dean Favell. So in the web camera department tonight, or the race cams as we like to call them, I'll tell you what, Jason Fewens has done a good job this week. He's just tilted that camera up a little bit for us. Now he's just up the road and he's given us a great on-board view. Here we are, Fewens cam. So it's good to see his point of view with the triple screen monitors, and he's all over the back of Marty Hansen at the moment. And great job, Jace. So 10 out of 10, man. That is some cool vision you're giving us right there. There's our onboard from iRacing, and of course what you're seeing from the helmet cam there of Jace Fewens, just give you that perspective of what the drivers really feel like when they're in the car. So fantastic work, Jace. And keep it up as we head across to some of our other webcams tonight. Always a crowd favourite. Nick Dumbrell up in 8th place at the moment, chasing after Chad Lewis. And he's also looking to make a move here on the Evolution Racing Team car, but Old Station 6.4 seconds off the lead. He'll be watching that field spread here on lap 4 of 35 as he gets a good exit. Will Wilson says up the fart. That's to do with Jason Fewens. And now a big run down the back straightaway here. Out of Spoon, he got a good shot. Now he's going to go to the inside through 130R. He thought about it and he probably did the right thing there, backing out. Has a quick look in the mirror and will now go into the braking zone to that final chicane and past the Ferris wheel, just bouncing over the curb there. You can see the way he bucks and rolls in that seat. As that Dumbrell says, he has new seat, not new belts. There you go. So a new Sparko seat for Michael Dumbrell. Pit lane penalty there for 923. 923 has been given a drive-through penalty for causing an incident on lap 1. And that's Dan Hall has been adjudicated as the one at fault in that incident with Jamie McKnight. So Chad Lewis defensive here with Dumbrell behind him. Our other webcam tonight, Scott McCune, as always, giving us access to his Hypersonic Racing webcam as well. Triple screen setup, the green machine, it's got lots of green lights there. So he's currently chasing up a Matt Vanderkrant for Aguribas Racing, and Stephen Kennedy's just up the road as well, P13 on his radar at the moment. And sadly for our other webcam man, Damien Cairns, he's dropped all the way back at the moment into 29th position with that little spin. So he's got a long race ahead of him now, even though it is only a 200k race. A long night ahead to try and get himself back into a flow, into a rhythm. It can become a little bit hard when you're 32 or so seconds behind the next competitor, Dan Hall. So he just needs to probably stick up his, what do they call it, a delta on the screen, and hit some numbers now for the next half an hour or so to try and get himself back into this. There could be a safety car. This could still be a chance for Cairns to get involved later on. So back with your race leader, Greg Favell, leading this one at the moment by just on 9/10 of a second. Dixon down the inside, and job done by Dixon, nice job. And he gets himself now up into 5th, so slowly chipping back some of those places he lost at the start of this race as well. Great shot up the hill there, just shows the way these cars have to work the tyres, both sides of the tyres, left and right, snaking their way up the hill here at Suzuka. Jason Fewens now up 7 spots into 19th, has Jamie McKnight right behind him, and he'll be under attack shortly. He's just dropping slightly off the back of Hansen as well, so he's at the moment struggling just to keep connected to that little trio in front. Up the road from them, you've got Dave Kirby as well as Scott McCune. So he needs to just try and get himself reattached if he can. He'll be getting a little bit of the slipstream. He needs to get himself reattached and part of that battle, dragging him along for the next half an hour or so as well. We're into that lap 6 now, so we're already into well, the window when we can start to hit off the racetrack. That's a moment and a half. Jason Fewens there. We've got the heart rate up. Like I said, they're already beyond that window now where they can stop the car, take fuel, and make it a two-stop strategy. I think you'll find a lot of drivers will be hanging out there though, waiting for a safety car, going as long as they can. We were told earlier on that they should be able to get, I think it was around, was it 11 laps out of that first tank of fuel? 11 laps is what Rick Viger has told us, so there you go. Let's see how far they do get. Your race leader leads Gamble by 0.8 of a second. Slightly came down that lap. Nitschke still holding on to third place. Let's jump on board with Brenton Nitschke and enjoy a run up the hill with him right now. Battle brewing back in the pack a little bit here. O'Brien and Hansen currently lapping mid 203s compared to your leaders. It's Bell did a 202 last time around, and Gamble was a little bit quicker. In fact, Gamble did a 2018 last time around, closed that margin down by about 1/10 of a second. Christian Smart currently holding 4th place, is now 5.3 back, so he's dropped off the back of Nitschke and has Dixon trying to chase him down again. Dixon was pretty quick into the braking zone a couple of laps ago. Right here at the final chicane. Will he do it again? I think he's too far back this time. On board now. So tips it in, and then as we look back further, Craig Friend, Dumbrell further back. Then Chad Lewis, the top Evolution Racing Team car tonight. In fact, second Evolution Racing Team car tonight behind Scott Gamble, of course. Greg Sharp behind him, and then it's Stephen Banks tonight inside the top 10, up 6 positions at the start. So the KFC car, Century Batteries, Stephen Banks entry doing a good job tonight as well. The 770 rolls through head up the hill again. This long shot from the grandstand just shows those S's. You can see what I mean. Snaking to the left, back to the right, all the while the tyres start screaming up the hill here. It is some tough work, that's for sure. Further back, there's McCune. Warren Davis is in front of him for Banter Alliance as well. So Davis at the moment up 9 positions into 12th. And I think the top Banter car is he? Yes, he is. The top Banter Alliance car running in 12th place tonight. The next one for their team. Jason Fewens down in 20th position here in the top split. So if you're just joining us, you're watching the top split of the V8 veterans. This is drivers all over the age of 40 competing here in what is one of the best leagues you'll find around in iRacing. McKnight now attacks the back of Jason Fewens and gets ready to get himself back into 18th place. Now hasn't made a stop. And gee, they're defensive, aren't they, into there? Apparently just slowed it down. He's got Jason Fewens behind him as well. James McKnight, we're hearing a little bit of the banter. But you can see there, he's taken huge chunks out of Hansen's time in the last couple of laps alone. Go back to that camera, you'll see what I mean. So 9/10 on the last lap, 7/10 to lap 4, 4/10 a couple of laps before that, and 9/10 on lap 3. So he's really moving quickly here. McKnight driving probably with a little bit of aggression. And he's closing the margin down to Marty Hansen in a quick way. And if he can clear Hansen, then he's got Brenton O'Brien. He's got some pretty fast competitors here in this lower half of the top 20. It's not going to be easy for him tonight to try and get himself back in the title hunt, or in the at least the hunt for a top 5 finish. It's going to be super hard. He might need some strategy genius tonight, and possibly, as he goes into the pits. So here we go. He's gone in for maybe an early stop here, maybe an undercut, knowing that he's catching those 3 or 4 competitors I was talking about. Maybe this is the right choice for McKnight. Kirby and Kennedy have gone in with him, and yeah. So let's see how it turns out after all this. But Todd Duggan goes through now into 21st place in Nova Motorsports. So there's quite a bit of damage on some of these cars out there. You can see that right-hand damage there for Todd. In front of him, the Hoff, the Pecking Performance car, has also got some fairly good scrape damage on the left-hand side of his car. John King next up the Roadhouse. His car looking pretty good for the JWME Motorsports team. Shout out to Jeff, who's watching tonight. Hello, mate. Not racing tonight. What's been Anthony saying? Nordschleife with no practice, you're keen. That's, I think, referring to someone who's coming back. Who's that? Is that referring to Jeff not racing tonight but coming back next week? There you go, with no practice. Yeah, Nordschleife next time out. It's going to be pretty crazy, I've got to say. I'm looking forward to it. Never broadcast from there, so hopefully everything doesn't explode when we try and load up what is, I think, one of the biggest tracks memory-wise to broadcast from on iRacing. Should be pretty good though as we look back from Jason Dixon. Checked up slightly there, and Christian Smart still stays ahead here on lap 10. They all stay out, so they're going along strategy, and I wonder if, Kirby did get out ahead of McKnight. Dixie's just gone into the lane now, and Jamie will be very keen to get through here. Now, he hasn't fixed the car in that pit stop, which surprised me, so he's decided not to take a fast repair tonight. Will Wilson says McKnight's in a Commodore tonight. Yes, he is in the Commodore tonight. Back with the front battle, and Favell still 0.7 of a second, doing enough at the moment. Gamble's lapping very similar pace. Last time around it was about 4/100ths the difference in the lap pace between them. Nitschke as well. He's just a little bit, probably a couple of tenths slower in the top 2 at this stage, but he's sitting nicely there, 3.5 seconds off the lead, and Gamble's decided to come into the pits. Does he feel that he's a bit quicker? He can maybe try for an undercut here, get some track position. Will he short fuel the car? Jamie McKnight, just out of interest, took 25 seconds worth of fuel, so around 25, 26 seconds worth of fuel, which to me sounds like a full tank. Let's see what Scott Gamble puts in the car. Stationary in the pits now, and he's been stationary now for nearly 10 seconds. We'll let you know shortly how much fuel gets crammed into the tank. His Holden Commodore is now on 17 seconds stationary. See the pit exit there, quite a few cars in. Dixon's in, Lewis is in, King, Sharp, Davis, Hansen, Fewens and Duggan all in the lane. Now who's just backed up there? That was John King, I think. As Gamble comes out, 28 seconds worth of fuel, so he's gone quite a long stop there, 3 seconds more than McKnight, but you've got to also remember that he burnt off a little bit more fuel than Jamie, who came in on, what was it now, lap 8 compared to Gamble, who's come in on lap 10, so an extra 2 laps of fuel burn there for Scott Gamble. Taipan eSports, he's been dominant, hasn't he, when he's got internet that works and no issues. He's so hard to catch, this man, Greg Favell, competing in the Pro Invitational Series as well. He's been super quick and can hold his own against all the big shots. So you can see the gap back to Nitschke as well. 4.2 seconds, then Christian Smart. Currently third. When you take Gamble out of the mix, moves up a position. Craig Friend, then Dumbrell up into 5th now. Into the lane. So just watch this. You might notice he hasn't got the beer there tonight. He's looked over. Oh, where's my beer? Oh, he says. Oh no. Oh, look, he's looking for it. Do you reckon that's what he's saying right now? Oh, geez, I forgot my beer tonight. I reckon it is, because he's reached over and there's nothing there. Now he's got to try and find it. Where is that? Where is that beer? Oh, there it is. Oh, it looks like a glass of red wine tonight for Nick Dumbrell. So, classic. Peter van der Kraan leads this race. Well done, Peter. So, I'll tell you what, you've got to check this. Look, what a classy man. Nice glass of red wine while he races. My good Dumbrell. Very good. So Peter van der Kraan leads. Gamble P2 has jumped ahead of Greg Favell. So the undercut pretty strong there. Favell took an extra 2 seconds worth of fuel on board though, which, well, that'll pay dividends later on in the race. But track position goes in the favour of Scott Gamble now. Nitschke as well came out behind Favell, even though he took 3 seconds less fuel. Interesting. And Jason Dixon, P5. They'll all move up 1 position when Peter van der Kraan, who we're going to give some airtime to because he's leading the race. And the Angry Birds Racing driver, Racecraft sponsorship on the car, doing a great job. And why not? So you tick that box of led a lap of the V8 veterans, even if it is around the pit stop phase. Now lap 12 as well. I was told they could do 11 laps. He's obviously been saving some fuel. Very, very good. So you can see the, oh, listen to that. He's fuel saving big time, Peter van der Kraan. I wonder if he's got to be on the cusp here, running out completely. So if he gets through the chicane, it's all downhill from there, and he should be right to roll into the pits, but it's definitely spluttering. Have a listen. So he's just made it back to the pit lane, luckily. Scott Gamble, who leads by just on 2 seconds. Start lap 14, the leader of this V8 Vets round 9 race. Just round 10, 11 and 12 to go in season 12 of the V8 Vets. I think for a second there, season 12, can you believe? Well, so far, touch wood, everything holding together as far as his internet. Nitschke's closed the margin slightly on an alternate strategy as far as taking a fair bit less fuel. In fact, he only took a second less than Gamble, so Favell, to me, in the box seat, with the amount of fuel he took on board, he's topped it right to the top, and he'll shorten up his second pit stop as well, which will help him possibly get back in front of Gamble. I'm not sure if Gamble will know those fuel numbers, but he'll want to try and stretch that lead out to 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds if possible in this stint. Pretty hard to do when you've got the likes of Greg Favell behind you. Let's go further back to the O'Brien, a battle with Jason Fewens and also Marty Hansen. Let's jump on board with Brenton O'Brien as he rolls up the hill here. Jason Fewens has held his own in this race, hasn't he? P17 for the Banter Alliance team, and like I said, if you just joined us, check out this running a really cool webcam for us tonight. Helmet cam. It's just right up there in the driver's eye view. And he's been running this for a couple of weeks now, fine-tuning it, and that's the best it's looked. So well done, Jason. Looks pretty similar to what you see if you've got yourself a good triple screen setup and you're out there racing. So it's very cool insight. Vanderkran's come out just ahead of Peter Vanderkran. So they're racing 20th and 21st at the moment, ahead of Steve Kennedy as well. And Warren Davis in a battle here with McCune. So this is good to watch. So Scott right up behind. We can see him getting alongside in that shot. There's the onboard for McCune. And he's got an overlap here down the pit straight. They're side by side. McCune in his triple monitor can just see out the corner there. Oh, almost contact. They race through turn one and McCune takes the position away from Warren Davis. Goes up into 14th and drops Davis back to 15th place. So he goes up and down the gears. You can just listen through these S's. They work the gears, they work the brake as well, just trying to stabilize the car as they head up the hill. So it's a tough lap around Suzuka. You never really get a lot of time to relax. You're always thinking about what's coming up next. And if you miss any of those, any of those inputs, any of those apexes, it all can go south very, very quickly. As Vanderkran and Favell fight here over this 20th position. Peter Vanderkran right behind. He's got Stephen Kennedy, who's really attached himself now to the back. I think Dino might be under a bit of pressure here. He looks to the inside, tries to send it down there. Not enough room. In behind, look at this, John King. Oh, a bit of contact there with Stephen Kennedy. King and Kennedy just got together. But all good. Bit of rubbings racing in the VFS. Nothing wrong with that. Let's jump on board with John King behind Kennedy. Back towards the front now, we're watching Craig Friend challenging Christian Smart. And I just also noticed that O'Brien's dropped back a position. Knight back into 12th now, so he is knocking on the door of a top 10. Keith Logan asks, how's Mr. Smart travelling? Well, he is the one in the picture right now. It looks like Fewens is just either redressing with O'Brien there, or that's a genuine fight. But O'Brien goes now back through into 17th, up 12 spots in the race. Fewens drops back to 18. Some pretty good gains from both those drivers. O'Brien up 12, Fewens up 8. Dean Favell's up 5 positions as well, back in 20th place. And you've got to put your hands together for this guy right now as well, Sebastian. In the Renault-inspired Mustang, up 20 spots into the top 7, trying to chase down Christian Smart and Craig Friend for that P5 battle. So pretty good effort from this man tonight as well. 10 seconds off the lead though, that field spread ominous as they start lap 15, 20 and a bit to go. So we'll take a quick look at the fuel strategy here. Pretty similar for the top 10. You can see Gamble stopped a lap earlier than Favell, Nitschke, Dixon also that lap earlier after doing 10 laps on that first tank of fuel. Smart and Friend on the same strategy, lap 11. Tixie was the one that stopped earlier and it's worked well for him. So he stopped on lap 9 and has leapfrogged up into 7th from starting 27th on the grid. So good strategy for him tonight. And then of course you've got Sharp lap 10 and then Dumbrell and Banks all racing and doing the what is the stock standard strategy. 11 laps, run out of fuel, come in and pit. Dean in the background, going wheel to wheel with Peter van der Kraan. And around the outside, hopefully hanging on to that. He does. The M1 car in the background still challenging. They go up the hill. We've already learned from lap 1 that 2 don't go into 1 there. They do, these two though. Nice precision driving side by side. Dino still hangs it on the inside. So far so good. Now van der Kraan comes back at him. And the M1 car of Kennedy tries to go through the hole as well. On board looking at Dean Favell.
Mate, I don't have to make the catch cold, dude.
Easy up there. Dean's just lost a couple of positions. The banter you're hearing is between O'Brien and I think Fewens. So these two are having a bit of a chit chat. Looking at Fewens' cam here, looking back from O'Brien. So this will give us a good indication of forwards and backwards at the same time. Jason Fewens, this is the car we can see out the back of O'Brien's, and we're seeing the onboard view there with Jason Fewens. So good to watch this battle. He snatched the brake there, Fewens. That was heart and mouth stuff again. He lost a lot of track position. We'll drop back about 10 car lengths from that little bit of a lunge. And, well, you got to try. If you don't try, you'll never get anywhere. And unfortunately, that time didn't come off, and Matt van der Kraan's actually having a bit of a sneak look back at him now. Big gaps forming there. You can see back to Kennedy. It's 4.3 seconds between the two van der Kraans, and Kennedy's just behind him, then King and Favell. Dan Hall after that early penalty as well. Just slowly chipping away, getting himself back up there. He's 24th. A long afternoon of racing when you get a drive-through penalty from an incident on lap 1. And 43 seconds off the lead. He would definitely be reaching out for a safety car if that was available right now. Lap 17, we're at the halfway point of this race. We'll be back with you in about a minute's time. Let's crank up the sound and enjoy V8 Supercar action nice and loud. Okay, back in the order again with Jason Fewens. He's still having a look here on O'Brien, so he's been able to catch that back up to the rear of O'Brien after for that mistake. Oh, now Matt Vanderkran almost has a go at him. So he's carrying a lot of speed, Jason Fewens, but then he makes those little mistakes. It cost him 4 or 5 car lengths. I think the consistency, once it's there for Jason, he'll be pretty hard to beat. He'll be a top 10 driver, I think, consistently, once he can just get those niggly little mistakes out of what is plaguing him at the moment. Because you watch that, 5 or 6 car lengths now to O'Brien. By the end of the lap, he'll probably be right on his bumper bar. O'Brien's driving well again tonight, up 12 positions. He's a busy man. I'm sure he doesn't get much of a week to practice on the sim, but when he gets out there and does it, he usually does it pretty well. This is Lewis and Dave Kirby. Let's jump on board with Dave Kirby because he's right on the tail of that True Force Logitech G Evolution Racing Team car now. Gets a good run through Spoon Corner. Onto the back straight, all about the exit here. Don't light up the rear tyres. Thanks to Brenda as well. Hello, Brenda. The stars over there on Facebook. It's a good run from Kirby. He doesn't leave him much of a room there. Wow, that was close between those two. No love loss at all. And they run wide, both of them through 130R, in fact. Now into the braking zone, and the Fishy car back in front of Chad Lewis's Evolution Racing Team car. And also is closing up the margin ever so slightly as well. It's a good mid-pack battle going on, no matter where you look in this V8 Vets round 9 event. A couple of rounds to go. Nordschleife next week, Imola and Alton Park to round out season 12. It's a good calendar. We're counting it down. Don't forget to LR eSports. We'll have the Split 2 broadcast tomorrow night, followed by the Split 3 in the Wodonga Cars and Parts Drivers Lounge, also tomorrow night from, I think, around 10 o'clock. So make sure you check it out. Go and see their fantastic broadcast. They do a really good job. Dumbrell still chasing down Greg Sharp. He's in a bit of no man's land at the moment. 2.6 seconds either side of him. In fact, it's 4.8 behind to Stephen Banks, but Greg Sharp 2.6 up the road, and Dumbrell just having to tick the laps away here. Lap 19. Did a 2:03 last time around, so he lost about 0.4 of a second to the guy in front of him with last lap's pace. So I'm not sure if he's had a bit of a mistake there, as Fewens once again continues to battle here with O'Brien. This to me is the pick of the battles we've had tonight, the Jason Fewens O'Brien battle. It's been good to watch and try and listen into the banter, because there was a bit of it before between these two. I think it's all friendly. I think it's all in love and war. The Banter Alliance Racing team driver doing very well. Shout out to WKMP, says Will Wilson. Shout out to them. They've been working very hard. This is where he lost out the other lap. He gets right up behind O'Brien in the braking zone. He's got to be patient here on the throttle. Don't light up the tyres. That's much better than by Fewens. Stays this time within about 4 or 5 car lengths of O'Brien. Can he get a shot at him down through turn 1? Here we go. Close enough again there. O'Brien still holding position. What's that? What has he got? A lot of data on the screens. Yeah, he's just basically running his broadcast. It's almost like broadcast data on those screens, isn't it? For Jason Fewens. Check in with the race lead up. Gamble still leads by half a second here on lap 21. McKnight's on the move too, just watching his times back in 11th place. He's caught up to Stephen Banks now. That's the next victim. Banks, sorry for McKnight. Banks holds station at the moment. Meanwhile, Jason, I'm seeing a lot of movement here. Jason Fewens and O'Brien, I think, are alongside, and O'Brien falls back now behind Fewens. So Fewens gets through, and McKnight hits Kirby into the lane as well. Fewens up into 16th place with that overtake on O'Brien, so good effort. Moves up the order. McKnight's in the pits to get fuel. Gamble leads the race, and Favell now gets within a couple of car lengths of your race leader as well. Be it that he's there and then he's not. And has he disappeared again? Greg Favell, I think we've got 2 weeks in a row. Favell has disappeared. The modem will be getting thrown out the window right now, I can tell you right. He will be absolutely gutted because he's disappeared off the screen, and it looks like the man who was challenging to get at least a podium tonight, possibly a win, has disconnected from this race 2 weeks running. So that's heartbreak for Greg, isn't it? Elevates Nitschke up a position though into second now, and Dixon up onto the podium, the third place. That ticks you up 22 spots into the top 5 now as well. Stephen Murray says, damn, poor Greg, what a shame. Yeah, he's going to be absolutely gutted. On board with Sebastian, P5, currently 10.3 seconds off the lead of this race, with about 14 and a bit laps to go. So we're travelling along nicely here. The drivers have gone flag to flag at the moment. No safety car interruptions. Friend currently holding 6th down from Greg Sharp, Dumbrell and Banks. And Scott McCune, your top 10. Jamie McKnight has taken advantage now of that pit window opening. He can now fuel the car and run to the end of this race. There's Craig Friend as well.
Control.
Now what's happening?
Copy.
Yeah, let's listen. It's McKnight, isn't it? According to race control, interesting.
Safety car, safety car.
Oh, we got a safety car. There you go. And let's see who that's for. Is that for Tim Nicol? It is. Yep. Tim Nicol's off the track.
23, please hold position.
So Tim Nicol's gone off and crashed it here. Let's have a quick look. Hecky Performance car is going to lose the back end here. Yeah, he got to wobble up on the curb. He's going to go high speed into the fence, and there is our... that's why we got a full course caution here. At Suzuka, this will compress the field. It's going to force the hand of a few drivers too to have, well, obviously, their final pit stop now. Will that help the likes of McKnight, those that did stop earlier? Let's see if they're elevated up. That could work into their favour. Just looking now to where McKnight is. He's back in 18th place now. The field spread's just over a minute. The drivers that come into the pits will maybe, well, that's going to probably hurt Jamie more than it's going to give him an advantage and try and jump him forward in this order. I think he's going to actually get hurt. What is it? Just over a minute. Oh, there's the stricken car in the gravel trap. Just over a minute distance from the race leader, who now goes into the pits. We're going to see all of them pile into the lane. Trundle down there to make their stop. So who's going to stay out on the racetrack? Anyone at all? They're all coming in. So full course caution here. Scotty Gamble leads the race. Comes out behind the safety car on lap 23.
That's all right. You can go past the safety car.
We're going to give a couple of wave rounds here, and we're going to take a short break, grab a drink. Back with you shortly for the end of this race.
543, you are the leader, as you know. Safety car is just the essence. Good stop, Paddy. Please bunch up, try not to be more than 2 cars. You can turn out. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Explaining. Bad luck. There will be one more lap after this lap, and then we will be going green. One more lap after this one. everyone, please bunch up. Safety car will be departing after this quarter coming up. 543, you will have control of the race. Please hold 80 kilometres.
Safety car procedure being talked about there by our race control. We get set to go live again on lap 25. It gives us just on 10 bit laps to go, 11 laps to go in fact. From the restart, so Scott Gamble will have the jump on the rest of the field here if he can time this to perfection. You'll have Brenton Nitschke, who's been quick. In fact, the outright lap pace of all these drivers in the top 5 have all managed a pretty low to mid 201 second lap here at Suzuka, so all of them have equal opportunity, I think, to win this race tonight if they can keep their nose clear, which is going to be pretty exciting. So you'll see the safety car is now bugged out. It's left the building, and we're getting ready to go back to full flag green racing here.
Safety car is in pit lane. 543, you have control of the race.
So Gamble in control. He can go whenever he's ready now, and as long as obviously they've got to wait for that safety car to be in the pits, the last thing you want to do is get an overlap and have to slow down again, which will get you in a bit of strife. But Gamble is he's pretty smart with this sort of thing and ready to leap back into action. He probably will go maybe from the chicane, but we have seen in the past drivers at Suzuka, because they don't want to get slipstream down into 1, sometimes hold back all the way to the start finish line. But Gamble goes early, so he's not mucking around. He's out of there. See you later, alligator. And we are back to full green flag racing here at Suzuka. In the background you can see they're dicing. Dixon's in the mix here. Dixon's going for a run on the restart here on Christian Smart, looking to the inside, gets a wheel up on the curb. It's all good, gets away with it. They hold position. He's got a great exit though, Dixon. He'll get right up alongside Smart now up the hill, and he has to back out of it. Did they bang doors? They did bang doors through there. Dixon and Smart. Dixon gets ahead now. Smart gets a huge wobble on and then has to close off Tixia, who was trying to go through the open door as well. Sebastian up 22 spots into 5th now, and has fired those tyres up perfectly off this restart lap, and is trying to also get an extra position or 2. Gamble out in front, got the jump perfect, 1.1 seconds, as Dixon now back on the podium, leaps over the curb ahead of Christian Smart, Tixia, then Sharp, Friend, Dumbrell, Banks and Jamie McKnight inside the top 10 now on this restart, putting the pressure on Banks. We need to try and go down the inside. Oh, he's tapped him. He's tapped him. That's put him into the fence. I think it caught him unawares there. You'll probably hear Jamie say that he braked a bit early, or did Banks move across in the braking zone? We'll have a squeeze of that now while race control have a look. Let's see what it looks like from above. So McKnight was right up behind him. Now we'll slow this down, and you're going to see Jamie tries to go through the right-hander and then send it down the inside under brakes. Oh, it's the slightest bit of contact there. Is that a net code or a contact? You guys can decide. There it is. So yeah, a little bit of contact. Banks just I wonder if he got on the brakes a little bit early there. Let's have a quick look from on board with in fact, let's look back. So here's the view, and the onboard with McKnight will just show, yeah, he was on the brakes through the corner. Now are all the cars on the brakes through the corner? Let's have a look. Full speed. There it was, into the fence. So I think Jamie will probably wear a bit of strife for that one from race control when they come back from looking. So we'll wait and hear for their adjudication. But Gamble out in front, 1 second the lead from Nitschke, Smart, Tixia, and Greg Sharp sits in 5th at the moment in the Penrite Coda Sim Sports car. Nice job. Dixon back into 6th place now. Has dropped back. Dumbrell still holding on to the top 8. He's got McKnight behind him, Friend in front. So rough old ride through there for Dumbrell. McKnight has a look down the inside again. Door left open, slams it shut. Oh, contact! And he's gone around. Umbrell, he won't be happy with that one. So he's facing the wrong way, and he's going around, and there's...
That's Jamie.
Shut up, Pickett.
Racing control, can you check that rejoin from 27?
So, disappointment there.
Copy.
And the banter is strong as well. So, yeah, I think he's going to wear a bit of trouble for that one too. Jamie, let's have a look at that. We'll go back to the replay here. So it wasn't a carbon copy. McKnight goes down the inside. I thought he'd got the job done there, and then Umbrell comes across. McKnight just got up on the curb, and it's the slightest bit of contact. Let's have a look again on board with McKnight if we can. Let's have a look through here. So this is the onboard with McKnight. And yeah, he just got up on the curb there. Was into the door twice. So fortunately, like I said, I think he'll wear some strife for that one as well. Back live, we have stayed green.
Man, that's ridiculous.
And Gamble leads Nitschke, Smart, Tixia, Dixon. So there's a bit of emotion at the moment out there on the racetrack. Gamble out the front though, not having to say anything because he's leading this race by 0.7 of a second and currently looking pretty comfortable, just ticking the laps down now at 27 to 35. And out of all that, looking at who's risen to the top here, Kirby's into the top 10, so is Chad Lewis, Evolution Racing Team. Warren Davis just outside the top 10, he's had a decent run tonight. So up 10 spots into 11th. Marty Hansen's there as well. Did Nitschke just go off as well? Oh, big damage for Nitschke. So he's just gone off and drops out of the top 5. So what's happened there to Brenton? He's had a big moment there, and I think he may have done it all by himself. Let's have a quick look at that on a replay. So Brenton Nitschke was up through, was it Spoon? No, it was before Spoon. He was all by himself at that point. He's just going to lose the back, I reckon. And what did he hit to do all that damage to the car? So he ran wide, just touched the grass. Big tank slapper, bang into the fence. And that's what's done the damage to that Mustang. And I wonder if that won't need a pit stop and a maybe a meatball flag. Oh, McCune almost into the back of him as well. Or was that Dumbrell? No, it was Scott McCune almost into the back of him. So that's unfortunate for Nitschke. He's continued on, which is good, but he's going to be lacking a bit of straight line speed here, and you can see Scott McCune ready to attack, ready to pounce with just on 7 laps to go. So if he hasn't got a meatball, he'll try and stay out, but he's got a huge train of cars behind him now as well that are trying to attack and take over this position. Fewens has done well. There's Jason, so still in the top 14 and still mixing it with some quick drivers up there. Peter Vanderkraan ahead of him, John King behind, Marty Hansen not too far up the road. So good drive by the Banter Alliance driver tonight, Jason Fewens. So the left-hand side of Renton's car looks perfect. The right-hand side is pretty bent. Umbrell, has he got the car fixed? I think he has just fixed the car. No, he hasn't. He's continued on, so that damage, he's all out of shape there. I wonder if he's got some damage on the car. I think it's race over for Dumbrell, and he's gone. So, yeah, he's out of the chair, and that's game over for Michael Dumbrell. The belt's come off, and he's back in the pit lane, so he's pretty disappointed with that tonight, and he's gone and had enough. So, unfortunately, we've lost some competitors tonight with some small incidents. But out in front, 2.7 seconds now, the race lead. Scott Gamble is well, walking away with this one, I think. So it's unfortunate. Like I said, Dumbrell, I think he'll be disappointed. He's a feature. We love seeing him We love seeing the emotion. We love seeing him racing week in, week out. To lose him in that fashion, I'm sure we'll be upset. But he'll bounce back. He'll be back next week. And he's got some fans out there. Give a shout out in the chat for all the Dumbrell fans, because we've loved watching him every week racing. And like I said, it's been a massive asset having his webcam for us to see each week. And yeah, it'll buff out to Steve Murray, I don't think so. There's a good battle in the mid-pack, 10th place. And this is this train of cars that we've got behind McCune. Well, behind Nishiki probably has been backing them up a little bit, but McCune, Kirby, Lewis, Davis, Hansen and Peter van der Kraan 13th. Quite a train of cars going on here. And Damien Cairns as well back in 20th on the back of Stephen Banks, is also now trying to fight back after a couple of incidents he's had earlier in the race. 6 and a bit laps to go. Can he get himself up into, well, hold on to the top 20, but himself a little bit higher in the order as well, as Brenton O'Brien fights with John King over 15th and 16th place. Van der Kraan holding on to that 15th at this moment. And he's just been taking little chunks out of him, but it's going either way there for these two, King and O'Brien. On lap 24, he was way quicker. Lap 25, it went to the favour of King. Then lap 26, it swung back to O'Brien, and then vice versa for lap 27. So they're in a bit of a yo-yo, those guys, and let's see how it finishes up in about 5 or 6 laps' time. Jeff Thomas says Dumbrell is one of the awesome characters of the V8 Vets. Will Wilson's a big Dumbrell fan here as well. Yeah, he's a crowd favourite. Unfortunate to see him go out tonight. McCune is still in there though, and Scotty is chasing down Brenton Nitschke. So McCune at the moment, the top remaining Hypersonic Racing driver. There's the gap to the car in front. Nitschke with a wounded Frog Leap Juice Racing Ford Mustang. Just trying to limp it home for a P7 tonight. That's probably the best he'll manage if he can keep it there. Will Scotty have something in the last 5 laps to ride home about and try and sneak past Nitschke here? See the Ferris wheel up there in the background moving. I was just seeing, was it still moving? Yeah, it's moving. What a place to see this circuit from, up there in the Ferris wheel. That would be fantastic. Right, back with the action. Let's go to this Kirby little battle. You can see what I said there. Kirby's got them all backed up there. In fact, it's Chad Lewis with them all backed up behind him. Kirby, Warren Davis, Hansen, Van der Kraan, Fewens is there as well, joining the party. Let's jump on board with Chad Lewis and look back from his car. At the Fishy Motorsports, Dave Kirby up 7 spots at the moment, trying to make it up 8 if he can get one more up the road. Lap 30 of 35, just on an hour and 6 minutes into this race. And Lewis, Kirby, Davis, Hansen and Van der Kraan turning some action on. Back down the order a little bit as well. Oh, there's a lock up there from Lewis. And Kirby almost had a run at him there. Thought better of it. How about this little run? McCune finally gets through on Nitschke now, moves up into 7th. So I think the damage, I think Nitschke's starting to succumb to the damage. Oh no! Another HSR car goes around. Now it's Scott McCune. It's what is with the HSR cars tonight? They've got targets on their back. And he's got damage too, I think. You can see the way the car's lurching to one side. Oh dearie me. So we'll get a replay of that one for you as well, but like that's also going to go down as a, well, Nishiki will wear some grief over this one, so just watch this on Warby McCune. So Nishiki just went up the inside there, gave him a tap, and Neckman at McCune goes around. So we're still waiting to hear, obviously, from race control on some other adjudications there, but that definitely is a slam dunk, I would say, for Nitschke, and will ruin his evening completely now from the 7, but McCune's dropped all the way back to 17th with all of that. Christian Smart now has gone around, so Smart from a podium position has gone off the racetrack. Wow. Now, was Tixia involved in that? Because there's a little bit of a flash of the audio came up on the screen there. I don't think so. Let's have a quick look at Tixia just overtaking Smart just to confirm there was no contact, but I think Smart's done this all by himself. Oh yeah, he just got the back wheel out on the curb. He snatched it, and then, oh, he did get a hit. So he did get a hit from Tixia. So wow, we've got another moment there now. He was recovering from a spin, but this could be more controversy at the end of this race. And wow, it is all happening. Let's have a look. I think this was after the fact. Yeah, you'll see there is Smart trying to recover from the spin. Let's have another look from an overhead view maybe and see what's gone wrong here. So here's the chopper cam. You'll just see Smart snatch it up ahead, lost the back end, so he lost a lot of speed, and Tixia goes into the back of him and put him in the wall. So wow, race control are going to have their hands full for the next couple of minutes as we run towards the end of this race. What that has done is freed up Scott Gamble completely now to take a win. And Will Wilson reckons that he's all good. No, I don't think so. Well, like I said. Oh, we got another spinner. Van der Kraan in the fence just as we cross over. Oh, Fewens has gone around too. So Fewens is scrambling to try and get going again. And is he stuck there? He's in the middle of the racetrack here, Jason Fewens. They're going either side of him. Van der Kraan goes through. Now he's free to go through. Oh, flick spin in front of a car. Wow. Let's go and have a look at that one. So, did Fewens get touched there by an already spinning Van der Kraan? So here it is. So he was in front. This is on board with Fewens. Oh no, so Fewens got into the back of Van der Kraan now. Put him in the fence and then had a secondary spin himself. So that's how that's occurred as well. Let's have another look at that.
There was an overlap when you moved back over, but
yeah, Fewens saying there was a bit of an overlap. So yeah, he ran wide. Then there's the first contact on a replay here. This will be the second contact there. And around they go into the fence. Oh, look at the evasive action there as well from one of the hypersonic cars. It was good reflexes, but well, counting the laps down now. Lap 33 or 35. We are almost done. And Scott Gamble will just be cruising home from here. 4.4 seconds the lead. Pretty comfortable. Too scared to look somewhere else now. Who else are we going to see flying off the racetrack? Christian Smart's driving with parts missing off his car. It looks a bit pedestrian as well. It's going quite slow. Chad Lewis and Kirby. Then you got Warren Davis now into the top 10. So the Banter Alliance car is sneaking into the top 10. Hansen, Van der Kraan, O'Brien into 13th now. He's also up 16 spots. He's our biggest mover and shaker tonight as far as track position gained since the start of this race. So well done, Brenton O'Brien.
Good 180.
And there's a redress going on there as well.
All good, thank you.
That was Fuens having a redress there by the sounds of it. Kirby on the road as well. V8 is smart. He's challenged here by Chad Lewis. Penultimate lap of the race now, 2 to go. Onto the back of O'Brien. Can he get one more position here? Scott is in 13th. Such a disappointment for so many drivers tonight. Looking at the order, there's a lot sitting down the bottom out of this race. And well, our DNFs. Greg Favell, Jamie McKnight, Tim Nicol, Michael Dumbrell. Out of this race, some pretty big names. Contact there from McCune into the back of Brenton O'Brien as well. As we head around towards the end of this lap, there is Scott Gamble, who will take the white flag. 1 to go shortly. What a race it's been for this man. Run here at Suzuka for round number 9 in the V8 Vets, and the white flag drops as the Coca-Cola Ferris wheel. Seen all the action tonight. But for Scott Gamble through turn 1 for the final time, leading this one by nearly 4 seconds. As Will says there in the chat, it's been a dominant performance. And he looked good from the get-go, didn't he? He sat behind Favell. Favell, unfortunately, out again with internet issues. It's been so costly to him. Once again tonight, it's robbed him of a good fight for a victory. But Scott Gamble has been consistent. He's got a quickest lap of a 2:01.11. We'll see if that is the best time. It's not the best outright time, which I think, I'm just looking down the list, belongs to... Well, I think it belongs to him. I'm not sure why it's not showing the best time there. Maybe because an off track, but definitely that 2:01.11 is the best I can see on my timing screen, unless anyone else can see better. Oh, no, I do lie. Greg Favell did a 2-minute flat .83, so there it is. That's why he hasn't got the fastest lap. But he's got the second fastest lap, Scott Gamble, tonight. They're still fighting back in the pack as well. McCune, John King, Damien Kansas there in that little pack. And Brenton O'Brien trying to hold on to 12th and doing a very good job. Down for the last time through 130R flat chat. He hasn't slowed down, he hasn't eased up. He's going to take the checker flag, this man, Scott Gamble, through the chicane. One more acceleration zone to the flag, and the checker flag will wave for him. The Logitech G Evolution Racing Team car takes another win in this season. 12 of the V8 veterans does it in style. Flashes the headlights in the background. Sebastian Tixia takes second, and Jason Dixon on the podium again with 3rd place. Great finish. Those drivers will be pretty happy with that. And well, I'm pretty happy because Gamble has got himself another win in the V8 Vets, and he is on fire for this championship. Greg Sharp takes out 4th tonight, with Craig Friend 5th. Christian Smart comes home in 6th place after an up and down race. Lewis, Kirby, Davis and Hansen rounds out your top 10. We'll bring you all the results, and we'll bring you a little debrief with the top 3 shortly. Don't go anywhere, we'll have them in the booth for a quick chat before we finish up for tonight's broadcast.
Congratulations, podium. Very good. Well done, Sebastian, to come back for 27 seconds.
Race results coming up on the screen now. Thanks to iRacing, and there it is. Scott Gamble confirmed the winner. 3.4 seconds over Tixier and Dixon. Your top three, some big names down the back of that one that didn't make it to the checker flag though. That will have some championship implications, no doubt. Let's go across now and see if we've got anyone for a chat yet. We haven't yet. Here's a replay of the start that we're watching now. It was chaos from the start. Drivers going backwards into the fence on the opening lap. It was all happening. See up the front there, Gamble kept his head and he got himself to the flag in a perfect fashion tonight. So as they take their time there, I'll probably have a quick drink, something to eat. And I'm an impatient man, I always expect them to be straight here for a chat after the race, but they take a minute or two to unplug themselves from their computers or whatever they're doing. I don't know what they do. What they do straight after the race. They've definitely been gone for a while. Scotty's joined us now, so we'll bring him in for a chat. Scotty, well done, mate. Great race tonight. Sad that Greg couldn't be there to fight it out with you, but all in all, mate, you drove so well once again.
Hi, Luke. How you going? Yes, yeah, thank you. It was a real shame with Greg dropping out like that, and we're looking in for a real good battle through that mid to back end of the race. It was going to be fun, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah,
we need to get him a better connection, man, but it is what it is. You drove so well, consistent. Your best lap time of a 2:01.1 was nice and fast too. That safety car period at the end there, were you worried at all that you might, get a challenge and maybe have to fight harder for the win tonight? Looked pretty comfortable.
Was a little bit with Niski. He was quick. He showed pace early on in that second stint. And yeah, I was a little bit worried with him. I thought, well, he'll either go with us or hang in the draft and wait till the end. So, but yeah, we just had to manage the tyres, and unfortunately something happened and he dropped back, and yeah, that's the way it went.
Yeah, great job. And Seb tonight, mate, 25 positions you made up. Wow, what an up and down race for you, but you got there in the end, and P2 on the podium. You got to be really stoked with that.
Yeah, but also I have the feeling I killed Christian, so I'm really sorry about that. Try to stay inside most as possible. I think he lost the race. We had such a great battle. It's really I'm really sad about that. And for the race, yes, starting from last, I was seeing all the guys dying in front of me one by one, and I managed to not die. So yeah, really happy with the result.
Yeah, great job. And then Jason, started third, finished third, mate. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it's just a race of mistakes for me. Like, I went back to 12th at the start, working my way up through the thing, got up to third at one point, then I put it in the wall after some big slides before that, and just got back up to third again. I was just disappointed because I felt like I had the pace to run up the front. What happened at the start there, mate? With the was it just bogging down or too much wheel spin? I got a dodgy ankle, and sometimes it's hard for me to hold the right percentage and my foot starts shaking. That's why quite often you see me just drop back massively off starts, and it spun, then my foot didn't work properly and it bogged the car down, then it spun again. Yeah. Well, all in all, mate, you held third position in the end, so well done. Let's go through the top three, do some thank yous. Scotty, with a great win again tonight, and mate, that's really, put you in the hunt for this championship, hasn't it? So who would you like to thank?
Yeah, Luke, thanks to yourself. Thanks to the admin and drivers at V8 Veterans. It's a really great community, and those listening who want to get on board, jump on board. It's good fun. Big shout out to Evolution Racing Team. The support I'm getting from 3 other drivers in the top split with Chad Lewis, Brett O'Brien and Dan Hall has been fantastic. Big shout out to Logitech G, Acer, and also Harvey Norman, and well done to Seb for second and Jason on third. Good job, guys. Great job again tonight, Scott. Seb, who would you like to thank, mate? P2.
Jamie for the setup, the community, you for the broadcast, and congratulations for the other guys on the podium.
Well done. And finally tonight, Jason Dixon, P3. Who would you like to thank, mate?
I'd like to thank Blackwall Motor Group, Too Easy Finance, Sinspec Engineering, Kart FX, and personal sponsors, Connection Contact. I can never say that one. And was it Amped Boutique?
Well done, mate. Good racing tonight. So thanks again to our top three. Scott Gamble with the win, Sebastian Tixie with P2, and Jason Dixon, your top three. Congratulations. See you next week, guys.
Catch you and thanks for the broadcast.
Cheers, guys. Righto, that's your top three, and a big thanks for tuning in, everyone out there at home as well. V8 Vets Thursday nights on RACESTARS TV. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, tomorrow night you can watch the Split 2 broadcast on LR eSports. Split 3 broadcast will be over at WKMP TV as well. Thanks to all our regulars that tuned in tonight. Hello to you all, and thank you again to Brenda, Maddie, Luke Holland, and Christine Keith Logan for the stars. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time here on RACESTARS TV. Good night.